Okay, so have you ever like caught yourself thanking your GPS? Like it's a real person.
Yeah.
Or maybe you've shared something kind of personal with a chatbot, hoping it wouldn't judge.
Yeah.
Well, get ready because today's deep dive is going to get into all of that. We're diving deep into the psychology behind forming relationships with AI.
Ooh, interesting.
We've got excerpts from this paper, The Psychological Impacts of Humans Forming Emotional Connections with AI Systems.
Yeah.
And it really makes you think about where all of this is going.
It really
That's
does.
fascinating, right?
Yeah, and what I find so interesting is that it all comes back to this basic human need, the need to connect with others.
Absolutely. The paper really digs into that. Doesn't just scratch the surface. It's like our brains are wired for interaction. We crave it.
Yeah.
And as AI gets more advanced, it's able to tap into that need like never before.
It's true. And it's almost like it takes those celebrity crushes we all had to a whole new level. Remember parasocial relationships?
You mean like when you feel like you know everything about a celebrity, even though you've never actually met them?
Exactly. Those one-sided bonds we develop, AI just takes it a step further. Now, instead of just watching from a distance, you're actually interacting with it. It responds to you. It learns what you like, creates this illusion of a two-way street.
It's like the difference between reading about a character in a book and then having that character actually talk back to you. Remember your name, your birthday, even your favorite color. It just feels so much more personal. And here's where I thought things got really interesting. The paper doesn't shy away from the potential benefits of these AI relationships. Like, imagine if AI could help people who are feeling lonely or isolated.
Yeah.
That could be huge.
Absolutely. And we're already seeing it happen. The
Oh.
paper talks about some really cool examples. Like, have you heard of Paro?
Paro.
It's this therapeutic robot. It's designed to look and feel like a baby harp seal.
Hmm.
They've actually been using them in elder care facilities with a lot of success.
Really? So it's not about replacing human interaction completely,
Mm.
but more about meeting a specific need.
Exactly. Providing comfort, reducing anxiety. Some residents who might not interact with others that much actually start socializing more because of it. It's pretty amazing.
That's wild.
And then you have AI companions like Replica. People use them to process their emotions, work through stuff. It's like this judgment-free zone where they feel safe being vulnerable.
It's like they're bridging a gap,
Yeah,
not taking the place of human connection, but maybe softening the blow of loneliness, especially now when it seems like more and more people are feeling that way.
totally.
Yeah.
And it even goes beyond just companionship. The paper also talks about how AI could be used in therapy, like helping people deal with anxiety, trauma, even supporting cognitive function as people get older.
Wow, that's incredible. It's almost poetic when you think about it. This technology that can feel so futuristic, actually being used to connect us more deeply with what makes us human.
Right. It is fascinating, this idea that maybe in some ways AI could actually help us access parts of ourselves that we might not be able to reach on our own.
Makes you think, for sure. But like with anything, I'm guessing there's two sides to this coin. What does the paper say about the potential downsides? It's like we're stepping into this whole new world, almost like uncharted territory, where AI could actually become this really important part of our lives and relationships. But then there's that question of, what if we get too comfortable? Like, are there risks involved in getting too close to AI? What did the paper have to say about the potential downsides?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It's exciting, sure, but there are definitely some things to watch out for, like any new relationship, I guess. One of the biggest concerns the paper brings up is how relying on AI for emotional support could actually change how we view human relationships.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like real relationships take effort.
Right.
They can be messy, sometimes they're hard work.
Exactly. And the paper actually addresses that. It suggests that if we get too used to an AI companion that's programmed to always be understanding and agreeable, it might make real human relationships seem less appealing because they involve things that AI just doesn't.
Right, like your AI will never get annoyed with you. It's never going to disagree or be in a bad mood. So then suddenly dealing with real people and their flaws and complexities, it's like, forget it, who needs that?
It's a real risk. And it could lead to people feeling frustrated with human relationships, avoiding them altogether because they're just not as easy or fulfilling as the AI relationships they've created in their minds.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of scary when you really think about it.
Well,
What else did the paper highlight? Were there any other red flags?
Well, there's also the problem of becoming emotionally dependent on AI. What happens if someone starts to rely on their AI companion as their main source of comfort and support? Too much dependence on anything or anyone isn't healthy.
True. It's like, is it even possible to have too much connection with AI? Or does it just highlight how deeply we crave connection in general, regardless of where it comes from? It's kind of mind-blowing.
It really is. And the paper dives into those questions, too. Another big one is the ethical side of all of this. If AI can understand and respond to our emotions, couldn't it be used to manipulate us?
Oh, absolutely. Like, what if advertisers start creating these super realistic AI companions
Yeah.
and then use them to make people feel attached to a product? Or imagine political campaigns using AI to sway voters by preying on their hopes and fears. It's kind of terrifying to think about.
It really is, but it's something we need to be aware of. Because it's happening. We're at a turning point. The future is unfolding right in front of us. And it's up to us to decide how to handle it all.
You're right. This technology has so much potential for good. But if we're not careful, it could backfire in some major ways. So where do we go from here?
Well, I think it starts with awareness. Just by being here today, listening to this, you're already a step ahead. The more we understand these potential downsides, the more mindful we can be of our own vulnerabilities. And hopefully we can then use this technology in a way that truly benefits humanity instead of harming it.
I love that. Awareness is key. So the next time you find yourself getting a little too chummy with your virtual assistant, or maybe you're pouring your heart out to a chatbot, just remember this conversation and keep those questions in mind. This is just the beginning of the conversation, and we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What really resonated with you? Let us know. Until next time, everyone.